The Wirecard Collapse, freezing bank accounts. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Still working through my morning stein of coffee, and I thought we'd have a look at this article from Forbes that's been sent to me by several viewers. It's regarding the collapse of Wirecard and millions of online bank account customers who've had their accounts frozen, and prompts the question, will they get their money back? Now, my understanding is Australian banks have some exposure to this. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Let me know. We'll go through all the businesses here that have been hit. Let me know if you know any of those. So, as the list of banking services that have been frozen because of the collapse of Wirecard grows longer, millions of customers are beginning to wonder, is the money in my account safe? The worrying news is that not even the financial authorities seem certain that it is. Now, this is an interesting consideration, well, particularly because of all of the changes that have been trying to get through with regard to the Banking Act in '59 here in Australia. Deposit bail-ins is a concern of a lot of people. It's a concern of a lot of people. We saw with the bushfires. People didn't have any cash. No one had any cash. What did they do? What did the good, fair dinkum Aussies do? They started robbing convenience stores. Just not paying for petrol. Small businesses copped it. So when you see what's happening in news over in America and you think that couldn't happen here, it bloody well could, everyone. It could. I mean, come on, have a bit of cash just set aside in case these systems fail, one way or another. Particularly if you're out back. This is why the whole cash ban debacle is ludicrous. Businesses should be required to accept cash. So to recap, on Thursday, Wirecard filed for insolvency after it emerged that almost 2 billion euros of cash of the company's books didn't actually exist. Oh, bloody hell. On Friday, the UK's Financial Conduct Authority suddenly ordered the suspension of Wirecard Solutions Limited, a UK subsidiary of Wirecard that handled payment processing and issued cards for a number of banking services in the UK and across Europe. Millions of customers of those banking and payment services have seen their accounts and bank cards suspended, leaving them unable to withdraw money or access salaries paid into those accounts in some instances. Millions of people. So what if you've got your salary going into those accounts and you can't use it? I mean, that's the problem, everyone. That's the problem. This is the thing with this digital world, where it presents a risk. I mean, how many of you are just tied with one bank? I remember I received advice from a broker to separate your business and your personal, and I haven't done it. I really should, because there's an all monies clause. Where all the money in the bank can just take all of it, combine it all together. Remember, it's their money, it's not yours. They just have a responsibility to pay you that money on demand or at a reasonably negotiated time. You're an unsecured creditor to the bank. You're lending money to the bank. Not getting very good interest for it, are you? What, 0.1%? Then they charge you for the privilege of having numbers on the screen. Anyway, I can't charge. It's just ludicrous. Banking apps and payment services affected include Pocket, Curve, Card One Money, Payoneer, and many others. So they've got the details of it. So Payoneer is the only one I am familiar with. I've just seen it online. So I haven't. If you have any experience with these, please let us know in the comments what they're like to use. But millions of people have been affected, everyone. Millions of people have been affected. So the immediate suspension of WCS on Friday has already caused immense difficulties for customers who have contacted me. A Pocket customer who wrote on Friday told him he had autism and relies on Pocket as his only bank card. When he went to pay for petrol using his card on Friday afternoon, the card was declined and the police were called as the customer had no alternative means of paying. The police still think I didn't intend to pay, as the card kept saying not authorized, and in their books that means I don't have it, the Pocket customer wrote. I had no idea until I read your story. I mean, there you go. There you go. You got to feel sorry for the guy. I mean, how many times, I mean, it's happened to me. I've gone to the bank and I've tried to swipe the credit card. Or no, not the shops, and it has been declined. And it's probably because, you know, I've got such low limits on the credit cards, and I just really use it for accounting purposes. That, okay, you know, an insurance bill or something came out that I didn't realize, so I just quickly transfer it on the phone. But to be in that situation, not have to pay, that would be quite frustrating. But then you also need a bit of cash on hand, just in case, in the wallet. Keep 100, you know, keep 100 down, 250 down, and you're walking around. Meanwhile, a customer at Card One Money reported that his card was refused several times yesterday before he later received an email from the company telling him his card had been suspended. I don't have another bank account, so I've had to transfer money to a friend. I mean, there you go. There you go. So there's another reason to have a variety of financial organizations that you can use. With financial anxiety already heightened because of the pandemic crisis, customers are growing increasingly concerned that they will never see the money trapped in their frozen accounts again. You know, here we go. Wirecard Gate continues to knock out online banking and payment services. Yes. And hi, Barry, in your experience, do you think the funds are really protected? And will they be released at any time? How long can it take to resolve this issue? In my case, I was affected in Payoneer. My funds in US dollars are frozen. So what's happened to the money? The Financial Conduct Authority's suspension of WCS on Friday seemed to catch many of the banking services by surprise, with some privately claiming they'd been given reassurances that WCS will be allowed to continue to trade. Since then, many of the banking apps and payment services affected have been at pains to stress that customers' funds are held safely in a separate bank account. In a statement sent to the press, Pocket said that its customers' money was safeguarded in a ring-fenced designated client account using Barclays. Your account made a similar statement, telling customers that we would like to reiterate to all customers that your money is safe and remains ring-fenced in a secure Barclays bank account. However, a Q&A issued by Anna Money, which has insisted money held in customer accounts was safely stored in a separate account, raised some doubt over whether the banking services still have visibility of those funds. It is a requirement from the FCA that funds are stored in a ring-fenced account, and the FCA complete regular audits to ensure the funds are stored correctly. That Anna Money Q&A states, all funds in the Barclays account belong to Anna customers and cannot be used for any other purposes, although the account was officially attributed to Wirecard Solutions. Anna had visibility of the Barclays account prior to the FCA suspension, and we saw no unusual activity. Note the use of the past tense. The Anna co-founders this afternoon held a live Q&A on YouTube in which they admitted they now had only partial visibility to the ring-fenced funds, but Boris Yankonov said that we sincerely believe the money is in place and ring-fenced. Viruja Jania, CEO of Pocket, told me his company no longer has visibility over those safeguard accounts, which are now being administered by the FCA. However, he said customers shouldn't be concerned about reports of money being moved out of those accounts. I think there's a lot of hearsay at the moment, he said. In some instances, money does need to be moved out of those accounts for settlement to MasterCard for transactions that took place or to the clearing schemes for faster payment and backs, he added. These were the only reasons funds should be extracted from safeguards accounts. So funds aren't protected. More concerning for customers is the funds held in their accounts are not protected by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, which is designed to reimburse customers when financial institutions fail. In a Q&A released by the Financial Conduct Authority on Friday, the FCA specifically stated that the Financial Services Compensation Scheme only applies to certain types of activity which does not include issuing electronic money or payment services. The FCA Q&A does go on to reference the safeguarded accounts that Pocket, Anna, and others mentioned earlier. Effective safeguarding arrangements are critical to help ensure that customers' money is protected and returned if a firm fails, the FCA states. Adequate safeguarding arrangements, which are compliant with the regulatory requirements, are a condition of Wirecard's ongoing FCA authorization. Given that Wirecard collapsed in the first place because money claimed to be in accounts simply that didn't exist, I asked the FCA whether it can guarantee that customers' money is still in those safeguarded accounts, but a spokesperson said the FCA was offering no comment beyond what was issued in Friday's statement. It did add that customers who are in financial distress as a result of the payment freeze may be eligible for a hardship payment from their local authority in the UK. Details can be found on their website. Pocket CEO said it's within the FCA's power to end the financial uncertainty for its customers. The quickest way for customers to get access to their funds is if the FCA support Wirecard now to process the transactions, and then an orderly transition can be made to new suppliers, he told me. Anna's co-founder said this afternoon that if the money in the Wirecard accounts had gone missing, they would attempt to refund customers from the company's own funds. They said that process could take up to 2 weeks, but that it also depends on approval from FCA. Wirecard Solutions Limited has not returned a request for comment. So there we have it, an interesting piece by Barry Collins, looking at just, well, what's happening here with Wirecard. I can't imagine too many people here in Australia are being affected, but it doesn't fill any of us with confidence. What about these new micro-financial, organizations, these new micro-loans or completely digital banks? Do you trust them? Do you think they're protected? Do people even have confidence in the Big Four? What would you do if your bank accounts were frozen? As always, thanks for watching. Please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. Simply interacting with the channel, sharing the content. It helps the YouTube algorithm know that the content's popular, helps the channel grow. You can support us financially via joining us on YouTube or Patreon, using our affiliate links at Amazon or eBay or Independent Reserve and Kucoin. Buy our merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Thanks everyone. I'll see you next time.